There's an adventure inside all of us. Some of us live for that adventure. Others let it take them someplace new. Your adventure begins here at Wind River Resort and Casino. Your adventure begins here at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Krueger, and you are watching Coffee with Krueger. Do want to remind you of the Shred Fraud event that we do have, or we got the Senior Medicare Patrol, HICAP, and PSA2. They're all working together to help you fight fraud. Now, this is going to be a free drive-through event. So what that means is you can bring the box about the size of a banker's box, for example, and any of your open documents, mail, the works, Medicare statements, sensitive documents, old bills, the works, right? You put that in the box. Then you go to, on Saturday, this Saturday, on the 18th at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., go to 1647 Hartnell Avenue in Reading, and they will shred those right there on site for you to watch. And it's really awesome. It's a great free program. It's a great way for you to help fight fraud, because you don't want to put all of those open documents in your recycling bin, because that's where thieves come in and they steal your identity as a result. So again, put that in your calendars for Saturday, July 18th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Temperatures right now, they're pretty mild, right? We're getting that time of the year. It's struggling to get out of the 70s for those overnight lows in the valley at least. Otherwise, 50s for most of the higher elevations and for the coast. Taking a look at a live shot from our Divine Sky Cam overlooking the Sacramento River with Mount Shasta in the distance. A few clouds out there, but certainly not as many as we've seen yesterday. Visibility has dropped a bit on the coast, where we do actually have some fog there. Taking a look at Crescent City Harbor District this morning, yeah, some pretty low visibility. You've got the low clouds, you got the fog, and most likely even a little bit of drizzle out there as well. So let's get you right into your Krueger's Quick Cast, shall we, for your Monday, July 13th, starting off with your skeeter meter for this week. Last week was at a 2.2. It's dropped to a 2, so that is good. You can always call the Shasta Mosquito and Vector Control for any of your concerns about mosquitoes where you are. Out the door this morning, let's get you right to it and get you looking at partly cloudy skies for the most part. Clouds will be on the increase as that monsoonal moisture continues to work its way from the south. You can clearly see that. The clockwise rotation around that area of high pressure. You can see that the clouds that are moved in. Now, it's mainly central Southern California where we're seeing a lot of the clouds, even some of the showers. But for us, we've got it, but you head eastward. That's where most of the clouds are. Then you head to the northeast side, northwest side of the valley, less in the way of cloud cover, including even some of the inland areas in Trinity County, for example. Minus, of course, where we're seeing that fog along the coast. So taking a look at today, that's the best chance for thunderstorms, mainly east of the valley. Let's take a look at the HRRR forecast model and kind of put this in the back of your mind when we go to the deeper dive, because there's a little bit of a difference, but not much. So we take you through the morning hours. You see that? It still wants to show maybe a passing sprinkle or light shower, but really what I think is going to happen is we'll see those clouds. We may see some virga come from those clouds. That is rain that evaporates before reaching the ground. But overall, first half of the day, don't see much activity. Now, you see what's going on? Not a lot either here, at least based on the HRRR, but some possibility for some thunderstorms east of the valley. This is where we got the highest potential for some dry lightning as we do go into really the next couple of days. It's going to be hot out there. It's going to be a little bit more muggy than we're used to, so you're going to want to do whatever you can to cool off. So there's a look at your swimming forecast, with temperatures generally in the upper 90s for your daytime highs. Now, I forgot to change the floaties, but of course that's what we want to do. There's the new one that Mindy from Reading ISR has updated with your latest water safety tip, that is. And she has got the reasons why you need to start your kids, your babies really, as early as you can. And she's going to kind of give you more details on that.
Hey Weather NorCal, parents often ask me, when should their child begin swim lessons? My answer is always the sooner the safer, because we want children to have these skills before they need them. You see, most childhood drownings happen during that unexpected moment. It's not always during planned swim times. Teaching children age-appropriate water survival skills can provide that extra layer of defense in that unexpected moment that they find themselves in the water alone. Now, swim skills do not replace proper supervision, but it can give them another chance when seconds count. I'm Mindy Odell with Reading ISR, and I specialize in teaching children ages 6 months and older these survival swim skills. If you are interested in getting your child these life-saving skills, head on over to my website, readingisr.com, and sign up there. And remember, drowning is preventable and every child deserves to feel safe in and around the water.
Once again, I want to thank Mindy Odell from Reading ISR for that update on the water safety tip. That's the third one of the week. You can always go to weathernorcal.com and watch all of the water safety tips. All you have to do is just click on the water safety tips section, and she will have all of those for you. And be sure to check her out, right? Go to readingisr.com, and you can schedule your swim lesson appointment right there online, and she will be sure to get your kid up and going. All right, let's get you through the day today. You're gonna have to forgive me this morning. I'm a little just tired. I've got something going on today that's gonna require me to just kind of relax. So I'm a little tired, and so I may be a little off this morning. So I'm gonna do the best that I can. All right, so temperatures, I'm okay. Everything's fine. I'm going to be just fine. It's no need to worry there. All right, temperatures in the mid to upper 90s for your daytime highs in the valley. We've got some 70s and some 80s working their way into the higher elevations, and temperatures in the low to mid 60s. All right, so let's take a look at tonight. Mild, right? And it's also, as I mentioned, it's going to feel a little bit more muggy than many of us are used to around here. And I say that because what's muggy to us is not muggy to our neighbors in the eastern, southeastern United States. So looking at your 7-day forecast, honestly, the forecast this week is going to be really tricky. Number one, the monsoon moisture can be a little unpredictable as far as how much typically we can get in here. That's the key, number one. And number two, what the atmosphere decides to do with it. And so we've got the moisture there, and we've got the potential for some of that daytime heating to produce showers and thunderstorms. But I think most of that will be in the mountains. That being said, if we see a stray sprinkle, maybe a light shower in the valley today or even tomorrow, quite honestly, that's not out of the question. But it is warming up, as you can see here, as we go into Tuesday, Wednesday. Bottom line, though, just not very wet for the valley. The coast, minus some of the morning drizzle, you'll be dry. You're not going to be impacted too much by that monsoon moisture, as well as the inland areas. However, Trinity County, this is where things get a little tricky as well. I don't think today, but maybe late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, you might see some showers, thunderstorms popping in. Then it dries out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even through the weekend. But take a look at Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountain. So what I've got here for Siskiyou County is a chance, because I don't think you're going to see much in that way of that monsoon moisture today. But tomorrow, better chances. For Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, today, tomorrow, yes, I think the chances are there. Now what you'll notice is Thursday, I've got mainly sunny skies. But when we look at our longer range forecast, it's actually showing the potential that places like Alturas and Susanville may even see some activity later in the week. And then once again going into Sunday, possibly early next week. So that's what I was talking about. The forecast is getting a little tricky because we are getting this off and on flow of monsoonal moisture coming in. Some days more monsoonal moisture than others. And the days we have more monsoonal moisture, the better the chances for that rain. So this is definitely one of those weeks you're going to want to stay tuned to Weather NorCal to kind of keep you updated with what's going on day by day. All right, I don't know if it was just me, but my Watch Duty app was just going nonstop. There were new fires that started over the weekend, unfortunately, but also just new updates coming from those new fires. Let's start with the more recent ones that we know about, right? Or the ones that we've seen earlier. The Mile Post Fire. Now, this one is 100% contained, right? It's at 104 acres at 100% containment. So that's good. However, there are still evacuation warnings for that area. So do keep in mind, even if a fire is fully contained, that doesn't mean you can let your guard down just yet. So there you can see some of the evacuation warnings that we have there. All right, take a look at the 3-1 Pit Fire. This is at a little over 1,000 acres at 75% containment. We have not too far from that a new fire that started this weekend, the Loomis Fire, 656 acres at 10% containment. And newly developed this weekend, as well as the Lumbee fire. I think I called it lumber during my morning update, but the Lumbee fire. 101 acres at 25% containment. Now, there was an evacuation warning earlier this weekend, but now all of it's been downgraded to what's an evacuation warning. Now, remember, yellow means just be ready to go, okay? Red means you got to be out of there. End of story. All right, so that's what it looks like for those 3 fires. How about the Twain fire? Also a new fire. Let's see here, discovered 7-Eleven. Yeah, so 275 acres, 10% containment. And there are some evacuation warnings for that area as well, just around north of the Highway 70 region. PLU-042 and PLU-043-B. Those are the 2 areas, or 2 zones that have the evacuation warnings. Here's the elephant fire. This also developed over the weekend. Pretty big now. It's at 6,436 acres. 5% containment. And we take a look at, there is actually an evacuation order for the community of Plumas. Now keep in mind, this is extreme southeast Plumas County that we are looking at here. So there you can see the community of Plumas, Hallelujah Junction, right? And so you've got those evacuation warnings and the evacuation orders because of this fire. All right, let's go and take a look now at the forecast smoke coming in from any fires. This morning, a little bit of smoke maybe out towards Siskiyou County from the fire in southern Oregon, but otherwise it is the fire in southeastern Plumas County that's going to produce most of the smoke today, but still not a ton, right? All right, so the fire potential. This just takes a look at where we have the best potential for dry lightning strikes, and there you have it, east of the valley. Tomorrow, unfortunately, it's going to spread a little bit more to the north and to the west of the valley. So these are all things that we need to take into account. So I just gave you the latest on the fires, evacuation warnings, orders, the works. The fires, watches, warnings, it's all a moving target. So what I typically do here at Weather NorCal is in my morning update and live here on Coffee with Krueger, I give you a detailed look at the fires, what's going on with them. If we have information on evacuation warnings and orders, we give those to you as well. I give you all the details that you need. But throughout the day, during my noon and evening update, I typically don't go into the same details with the fires. I may go into a little bit, especially if there's something we really need to communicate. But overall, if you want 24/7 the most recent information coming in from the fires, just go to weathernorcal.com, click on that fire danger section, and it'll have all of the information that you need right there. All right, you got Tracy Sackett checking in this morning, and she is saying good morning. Again, you'll have to forgive me. I'm a little, I've just got something I've got going on today, and I'm tired. I'm really, really tired. Haven't been able to eat for the last 24 hours, so I'm just drained. Let's see here. Tracy Sackett saying good morning. We've also got Catherine Schmidt. She's saying good morning, please. No fires, rain, please. I agree. The rain would be nice. Fires, not so much. Let's look at our Redding Divine Sky Cam. Absolutely gorgeous shot there. Looking out at Shasta Lake. This is the Jones Valley Resort. A little bit of a breeze out there this morning. We're starting to see some of the clouds as you look off into the eastern sky. Not as much in the western sky. There's a look at Lake Shastina. This is the Lake Shastina Golf Resort, sponsored by Elwood Ranch. Beautiful shot of Mount Shasta out there this morning. All right, we're going to take a look at a couple of other cameras. This is looking out at Soda Ridge. Yeah, you've got the mainly sunny skies up there this morning. You can look off in the distance, though. You can see a little bit of that smoke from the fire in southern Oregon. This is looking out at Lassen Park. Now, there's going to be more cloud cover off to the east because we're already seeing more of those clouds, and that's where we have the better chance for showers and thunderstorms. And down to the south into Butte County, yeah, look at Lake Oroville. You're seeing the clouds out there this morning. Can't see the skies here for Main Street Chico, but most likely seeing the clouds there this morning as well. And this is looking out at Crescent City Harbor District. You've got the fog, low-lying clouds. Yeah, it's the works out there, right? It's socked in with that fog, low visibility. All right, take a look at Bald Hill West. You're talking about sunny skies. Fort Jones, you're looking at sunny skies there as well this morning. All right. As you know, we have sponsors here at Weather NorCal. Coffee with Krueger is made possible by Wind River Resort and Casino.
Time to kick back, forget about your trouble, and have a good time. Wind River Resort and Casino is proud to welcome Uncle Krueger back to the Event Center stage Friday, August 14th. Drift away with his signature laid-back blend of country, pop, and rock, spiked with a splash of hip-hop. Tickets for this feel-good summertime show start at just $25 plus fees. Smile as you enjoy over 2 decades of multi-platinum top charters. Reserve tickets today at windriver.com. Your adventure begins here. Wind River Resort and Casino.
All right, let's get into that deeper dive forecast for your Monday, July 13th. Here's a look at your headlines. Monsoon moisture has returned. Now, here's the thing about the monsoon moisture, and we're going to be hearing about it pretty much all week long because, yes, it's going to kind of come and go a little bit here. It all has to do with our chances for showers and thunderstorms will all have to do with how much of that monsoon moisture comes in. And the overall pattern, the area of high pressure that transports that monsoon moisture in, that thing moves a little bit and you start seeing more or less, just depending on where that high pressure is. But I do expect for the most part to see drier air moving in by midweek, but then maybe more of that monsoon moisture coming later in the week. But highs too, it's going to be hot. We can't forget about the fact that we're talking about monsoon moisture, we're talking about chance for thunderstorms. Keep in mind, it's still going to be pretty hot out there. But temperature is right around or just above normal for this time of the year actually. Now, temperature-wise this morning, yeah, it's mild. Upper 60s, low 70s in the valley, mainly in the 50s for the higher elevations and low 50s right now along the coast. All right, so you can clearly see that monsoon moisture. See the spin around the area of high pressure. You've got the flow around that high pressure. It taps into the monsoon moisture, works its way up, Southern California, Central California, and for us. Now, we're seeing this kind of cutoff line where the clouds are, right? So again, this has everything to do with the positioning of the area of high pressure. You have the center of the high pressure right here. If you shift this a little bit more to the west, what happens? Yeah, the clouds all start to move to the west as well. The monsoon moisture availability moves a little bit more to the west. And as a result, you start seeing chances for thunderstorms. You take the same area of high pressure, shift it eastward, what happens? Yeah, a lot of the clouds and the monsoon moisture actually moves out. We no longer really have that potential for thunderstorms in the mountains. So again, that's going to be the key to our forecast, not only today, but all week long. All right, but we also have what's kind of thrown a little wrench here in the whole system is this area of low pressure right here. That's having a minor impact. But overall, as you can see, as we go to Tuesday, look where most of the monsoon moisture is, off to our east. It is showing it along the spine of the Sierra, but there are indications that would show it over Siskiyou County and parts of Trinity County, possibly seeing some of that activity as well. Then by Wednesday, we may see a bit of a break from all of this. Thursday, Friday, it's not until maybe at least this model wants to show that not until this upcoming weekend, we may see the return of some of that monsoon moisture again coming in Sunday, Monday, which would mean more mountain showers and thunderstorms. So let's talk about the immediate future here. For today, Storm Prediction Center, chance for thunderstorms east of us. Tomorrow, notice uncomfortably close to the valley, Trinity County, Siskiyou County. I think it's overdoing it here though. I don't think we're going to quite see as much activity here this far west. Humboldt County, Delaware County most likely dodging this thunderstorm activity. Then by Wednesday, it's all gone, at least for Wednesday. But look at our in-house forecast model. So as we go through the morning, see that? Maybe a chance for a stray sprinkle, maybe a light shower developing for parts of the valley. Don't be surprised if you see that, but don't expect much. And you can see here, we start to see those thunderstorms popping up in the eastern mountains, but it's not very widespread, is it? So we're really not looking at a ton of activity here, but there still is that potential for some dry lightning. Now, let's take you into your Tuesday. Things get a little bit more interesting here. Now, tomorrow morning, not much going on. Tomorrow afternoon, midday, there's a little bit more activity here. So the monsoon moisture seems to be a little bit more prominent for your Tuesday, especially to the east, right? Then we go into about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Look what's happening. We're starting to see that monsoon moisture spread westward. So now you can see uncomfortably close to the valley, seeing those thunderstorms. Thunderstorms in Trinity County, Siskiyou County. Not so much, though, for Del Norte and Humboldt counties. We go into the evening, overnight, you see northern Trinity out towards Siskiyou County, and then that should dissipate by Wednesday. So Wednesday may be a bit of a break, but look at Wednesday afternoon. There may be some leftover moisture in place. So keep in mind, even though the monsoon moisture is not like being directly fed into us at this point, there's some leftover moisture. And with the daytime heating of the day, we see afternoon convection, and we see the clouds begin to develop, especially in the mountains, and maybe a stray shower popping up. But look at this. Look at Thursday. Yeah, That monsoon moisture wants to come back, especially for parts of Lassen and Modoc counties. Not out of the question. Now, when we were looking at the European forecast model, that wasn't the case. So we'll have to watch Thursday. For now, I'm going to keep it dry, but we'll certainly keep you updated here over the next few days. But there you can see that, again, we're talking heat. The normal high for this time of the year is now 100 degrees. That's normal for Redding to be at 100 degrees. So if we're at 99, 100, 101, that's normal. We're slightly above normal, 104 to 105. Nothing extreme for this time of the year, just hot. The heat that we all know that Redding and Northern California has in general. Take a look at the lake levels, still hanging on to that 100% for that historical average, even though we're continuing to watch all of the lakes drop each and every single day. There's a coastal flood advisory, by the way, for the coast here due to the high astronomical tides. So just be aware of that. That'll probably be the case again here for tomorrow. Wave heights, not a terrible concern. Maybe as you start heading a little bit farther out, small craft, there may be, for small boats that is, maybe have a little bit of an issue. But otherwise, you can see the winds from the northwest at 5 to 10 knots and from the northwest at 5 feet at about 14 seconds. All right, so here's your neighborhood forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health and Grange Co-op. There you can see temperatures in the 90s. So the best chance for thunderstorms for you in Trinity County, I think, will be late in the day tomorrow evening. Otherwise, it'll be dry. North Coast, I think you're dry, minus the drizzle that we're going to see along the coast. I think mainly dry conditions for the inland areas as well, with temperatures there in the low to mid 90s, upper 80s by Thursday. For Siskiyou County, slight chance for showers today, better chance for thunderstorms tomorrow, dry by Wednesday, and then looks like it should stay dry through the weekend as well. But Modoc County, different story. Showers and thunderstorms today, tomorrow, better chances tomorrow. And then look at that, maybe another chance coming in by the second half of the weekend and into early next week. Same story for the Eastern Mountains and Susanville in particular, as well as Sunday. Temperatures staying on the warm side, generally in the 90s. And for the Valley, I've got you a slight chance for a stray sprinkle or light shower today, otherwise dry. We'll watch Tuesday. Tuesday is not out of the question to maybe see some drops as well in the valley. But otherwise, you're looking at hot conditions. Over 100 degrees for Chico for Tuesday and Wednesday. Up to the north, about 99 for Redding, as well as Anderson and Cottonwood, and 100 out in Palisadro. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast for Redding. Temperatures are going to be slowly increasing up to 105 by Wednesday. And then, of course, it looks like we see temperatures just kind of hover around that 100-degree mark. I'm going to call it kind of an early day and just kind of tap out of here early. I've got somewhere I've got to be here, an appointment, but basically I am just drained, folks. I haven't been able to eat really for the last 24 hours, and I've been haven't been able to eat much food in general. So I'm fine. Everything's going to be just fine. I've just got to be somewhere today. So meteorologist Aurora Murray, she'll be in at noon and again this evening, and I'll be back, hopefully back to my chipper self by tomorrow. In the meantime, let's leave you with a couple of cameras in the area and see what's going on across the region. Some beautiful shots that we have here from our Divine Sky Cam. You have yourselves a great rest of your day, and we will see you tomorrow.